Yo, this is for the dads. If you feel like you're in a place where you shouldn't be, and you're probably rocking the dad bod, and you have zero structure in your life, I got you. Because us dads, we gotta stick together. In this video, I'm gonna break down exactly what you need to do to get in shape and to have more structure in your life, so that way you have more time for yourself and for your family, and you can start feeling like yourself again. Let's get you confident. Let's break it down. Let's go. Yo, by the way, my name is Armand. I'm an online fitness coach. I've been helping people for the past 14 years. I've been very blessed and fortunate to have helped so many people reach their goals, mainly fat loss and building muscle and overall living a healthier lifestyle. And that's what I want to do for you today. I want to motivate you, I want to inspire you, I want to help you as much as I can. And I want to share that knowledge that I've gained over the years. And that's why I'm on here. So let's go. All right, let's get real. I understand how crazy and hectic life could get, especially when you're trying to be the best dad you can be. You're just trying to be present, right? You're trying to be there for your kids. You're trying to do your thing, right? But also you got work where you're trying to excel at work. You're trying to be the best and you're trying to put your hours in. You're trying to provide. And then you have other personal things going on. I understand how fitness, your training and nutrition could take a back seat, but I want to remind you of the importance of getting your fitness down and what it means to your family and how you don't really have to go all in, right? Where you have to train 7 days a week, where it's unrealistic, or diet every single meal. It doesn't have to be like that. So what I want to do is provide you some clarity on what that looks like. All right. And also, I was talking to a client of mine the other day, and I told him if I had a superpower, it'd be to slow down time, because I feel like time is just flying. It's going so fast. And I live in the Bay Area, okay? So I feel like I'm always trying to beat something, whether that's traffic or parking spot, just trying to get from point A to point B, right? Like, that's a lot. Like, it gets super stressful. So I understand. And if I could slow down time, I totally would, but we can't. So we're gonna have to make sure that instead of finding time, we make time. And that just comes down to having the right mindset and having a really solid routine. All right, let's break down the reasons why you should make fitness a priority. Reason number one is because your family needs you to. It's not about being shredded or having a six-pack. It's about being healthy, being the best you can be, right? And resistance training and focusing on your diet is a huge part of that. If you want good blood work, if you want to have strong bones, if you want to build more muscle throughout your lifetime, which is going to be really important for you, you're going to need to make sure that you're doing your resistance training consistently and you're eating the right foods. That is the most important, because your family needs you to be the healthiest you can be. And those are things inside of your control. Working out and eating the right foods. All right, the next reason why you want to make fitness a priority is because we got to get rid of the dad bod, man. I'm telling you straight up, we got to get rid of it. And I'm not over here telling you to get a six-pack or get completely shredded. That's not the goal. I'm not telling you to do that. But what I'm telling you to do is get to a place where you feel confident, good, and healthy in. That's it. And it doesn't take that much to get there. All right, I'll be quite honest with you. It doesn't take that much, but what we need to do is focus on a few lifestyle changes, focus on healthier habits with your nutrition, and work on getting to the gym consistently a few times a week, all right? And I'm gonna break that down on exactly how to do that. Keep watching, okay? Yo, I want you to think about all the days where you feel sluggish, tired, and where you have low energy. It sucks, right? Where you feel like you don't have the energy to go around and be around your kids and play with them, right? Like, it's not a good feeling. So here's the thing. This is why we need to prioritize our training, our diet, and our recovery. So that way we have the energy, the mental focus to be able to spend time with our kids, to be there, to be fully present as a father. That's why we need to prioritize it. Yo, another thing I want to talk about is confidence. And I'm not just talking about the physical aspect of confidence, right? Obviously, when you train, when you diet, when you focus on your fitness, you're going to feel a sense of confidence physically, right? And here's the thing, not just the physical aspect, but the mental aspect it gives you, the fact that you feel like you can do hard things consistently. Because let's be real, training, eating the right foods, it's a challenge. And the fact that you are mentally breaking through those challenges, it just provides so much confidence in other areas in your life that you really feel like you could do anything. So this is why you need to prioritize your health and your fitness, because your kids will see that confidence. And that's very, very important. And in the subject of confidence, like, let's be real, man. Like, our kids needs to see us confident. Again, I'm not talking about having a six-pack and being shredded to be confident, because I don't believe that instills confidence. I always tell people, if your real reason of wanting to get shredded or have a six-pack is because you're insecure, you're just gonna be an insecure dude with a six-pack, right? So I'm talking more confidence in the sense of achieving things, feeling like you could do anything. And I believe that when you focus on your fitness, when you train hard, when you eat the right foods, it's gonna instill a different type of confidence in you. You're gonna be able to walk into a room regardless of how you look, but the fact that you're putting in work, it just brings in a different person out of you. You know what I mean? The reason why I really want to emphasize confidence is because it's really important, right? Like, I personally wasn't a very confident individual, and it's something that I'm still working on, by the way. It's not something that I have like completely down, but I really want my daughters to see me or remember me as somebody that was always confident, even though sometimes deep down inside I may not feel like it. But I want to make sure that when they get older, when they grow up, I want them to be confident in who they are, right? And I believe that's just super, super important. And yeah, that's why I really believe that us dads, we got to prioritize our fitness. We got to get it down, because again, it brings out a different individual out of you. And I know you know that. Another thing about confidence, because again, I believe this is just so important, is because it affects your relationships in your life, right? And man, that's so important. Like, relationships from, your partner, your girlfriend, your wife, your kids, the people around you, your work. Like, man, this is why I love fitness, because I believe when you get it down, when you start training hard, when you start eating the right foods, when you start sleeping right, man, it brings a different person out of you. It just brings a lot of confidence. And it's truly the gateway to really working on other areas in your life, like helping those areas improve. It's not just a physical aspect, it's everything else that it provides. And that's so dope. So let's break it down. This is why you need to prioritize your fitness. This is why you need to get in shape, because your kids are watching. Your kids are paying attention to what you're doing. All right. Now, I truly believe this. Things are caught, not taught. So however you're living your life, your kids are gonna do the same thing, right? How you eat, how you prioritize training, fitness, working out, they're gonna see that, they're gonna notice that, and they're just gonna think that's the norm, right? So if you could do that for your kids, do that, because that's one of the best things you could do for your kids, is showing them how to live a healthier, more confident life. And that goes way beyond just a physical aspect. If you really care about your kids' future and you want them to be at their best, fitness got to be a priority. We got to be present. We got to make sure that we are mentally there, focused. We have to make sure we have the right amount of energy throughout the day, because again, there are so many things that we are focused on as dads, right? But again, we need to make sure that all of those things that we're doing, we still have enough energy to be able to focus and be present for our kids. And I promise you, focusing and prioritizing your fitness is gonna allow you to do that. So make it a priority, all right? And again, like when we do this, we're gonna be able to be the healthiest we can be. Again, there are things outside of our control. The training, eating right, sleeping well, definitely inside of our control, all right? So just make sure that you're doing the best you can do so that way you can live longer, be present, and have the mental energy and focus for your kids. One more thing, fitness is self-respect at the end of the day. And if you respect yourself, you're going to prioritize your training, your dieting, your fitness, because you can't, at the end of the day, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? You gotta make sure that you're good. So again, fitness at the end of the day is self-respect. Yo, one more thing, because I'm on a roll, all right? And the reason why we really need to get this down is because we set the standard. You know what I mean? Like I have two girls, okay? And when they get older, I want them to know and to see what a man should prioritize from their faith, their health, their work life. Like I want them to see and know that I personally did the best I could do in all those areas. And I want them to see that, because I would imagine, like, if they look for a husband one day, right, when they get into relationships, I want that to be the standard. You know what I mean? So yeah, I truly believe, like, when we get this down, it's gonna affect other areas in our life. It's gonna teach us discipline. It's gonna teach us focus. It's gonna help us pay attention to things that actually matter and be present. So again, it sets the standard, man. Like, and we need to do that. It's so important.
All right, yo, we're gonna break down exactly what we need to do to get in shape, to get stronger, and to have a better routine. And we're gonna do this in a very, very simple way, because I understand and I know that you are busy and you got a lot going on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it in a way that is sustainable, where you can continue to keep going and keep pushing forward. And yeah, because what I value very much is consistency. And if you could do this for a long time, that means you're going to be able to stick with the plan. So the simple, the better. You do not need to make it super complex and hard. All right? Because at the end of the day, training, dieting, focusing on your sleep, it's already a challenge. So our goal is not to make it any harder than it already is, because consistency in itself could be hard, right? So let's keep things simple, and that's what we're gonna do, all right?
Yo, as we are breaking down your plan, I want you to remember this, okay? Like, you don't have to go super crazy with your diet and your training. What I mean by this is that with your training, you don't have to go in and tell yourself that you have to go super hard, where you're out here fighting demons and all that, where you got to train like David Goggins in a sense. Like, we don't got to do all that. We got to keep things simple. We don't want to get burnt out. When we diet, like, if you want a cookie every now and then, if you want to eat out with your family, do so. It's okay. Like, we don't have to be like completely all in. Like, yes, like if you commit to something, if you commit to training and you commit to dieting and eating healthy, like, do so. Like, that, when commitment and doing it and executing, that's where it's at. Like, you don't have to go completely all in and try to adopt this mentality that's unsustainable and unrealistic for most of us. Like, we don't got to do all that. Like, what we need to prioritize the most is consistency. And if a plan is too complex, where it's so hard and you eventually get burnt out in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then that's not it, man. Like, what we need to do is come up with a plan that you can do consistently over time, and that's how we're gonna get where we want to get to. All right.
Yo, let's build out a plan for you to get you back into shape. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep things very, very simple. We're not gonna make things complex whatsoever, because what we are going to prioritize is consistency. Because when you are consistent, that means you're gonna make progress. And when you make progress, you're gonna feel really good about yourself. So let's break it down. So, with your training, here's what I would do. Let's say you're not training whatsoever. I would train about 3 times a week starting off. And then if I could do that consistently, I will add a few more days or add one more day. Okay, so maybe you're not training whatsoever. So I would train 3 times a week. So maybe that's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I would probably do a full body split. This will allow me to hit enough volume to target each muscle group. All right. And then when you are consistent with 3 times a week, you could go up to 4 times a week, and then 5 times a week eventually. When you hit those, I would probably do like a push-pull leg movement or split. All right. And then with your diet, here's what I would do with your diet. Okay. Let's say that you are not eating anything clean whatsoever. What I would do is go back to the fundamentals. What do I need to focus on? One, am I eating high quality foods consistently? If I'm not doing that, there's nothing else I should focus on. Because I guarantee you, if you eat high quality foods consistently, like all the time, where that is lean protein, healthy fats, fruits and vegetables, healthy carbs, if I'm prioritizing those foods, I'm going to feel really good about myself. I would probably lose a few pounds, okay? And when I'm consistent with those things, when I'm consistent with eating high quality foods, then I will either track calories or follow a meal plan. Okay, that would be like the next phase. Because if I can't eat high quality foods consistently, which is the most basic and most simple thing to do, then tracking calories or following a meal plan, it's gonna be very difficult. So those are the few things that I would focus on first. All right, so start from the bottom, and it's okay to start from the bottom, and then slowly progress from there. Because what we are prioritizing is consistency. Because if you jump in, like fully all in, you could burn out, and that's hard to do. Like, yes, you could follow a plan for like 8 to 12 weeks, but what happens after the 12 weeks, right? So instead, if you start from the bottom and then slowly work your way up, you're gonna make consistent progress over time. And also, you're gonna build some really good habits and skills along the way. So start from there, slowly build your way up, focus on consistency, because you got so many things going on from work, family, all that stuff. So try to make your diet and training super simple, so that way you can be consistent over time. All right. So follow those things, and then you'll be good. Yo, by the way, what I'm going to do for you in the description is I'm going to add my fat loss blueprint video, where I kind of go more in depth into this. And then I'm going to leave my meal plan template and food list in the description for you to grab, so that way you have clarity on what foods to eat and how to set up your meal plans and things like that. All right, time to break down our routine. Here's what we're gonna do. Every night before going to bed, you are going to script out everything. You're gonna plan everything out to the T. The reason why is because we need clarity and structure. If we feel like we're all over the place, especially as busy dads, if we feel like we're all over the place, and we're not going to have any clarity on what to do. But if we plan out our day the night before, we're going to have some clarity. We're going to know what we need to do. So for example, here's what I would do. Every night, I'm going to go on my phone. I'm going to go to Reminders app, get my Reminders app, and then I'm going to create a list called Daily Task. On there, I'm going to add everything that I need to do. Okay, everything. I mean everything, because I need clarity. I need to know what I need to do the next day. It's a habit of mine, because honestly, it's really nice to be able to just knock out a list every single night. Okay, so for example, deep work, devotions, prayer, 4 a.m., train, 5 a.m., 6:30, send out an email, 7 a.m., girls plus drop off, 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., I'm working.
Okay, that's where I'm, talking to clients, making sure they're good, things like that. 3 p.m., pick up the girls, right? So I know exactly what I need to do from my priority list, non-priority list, everything, because that's going to allow me to have a better routine, more time with my family instead of just scrolling through social media and, not being intentional with my time. This allows me to do that. This allows me to be intentional, to be absolute present with what I need to do. This is why we need to plan out and script out our days, all right? Also, side note, if you are having trouble with training, with working out consistently, what we want to do is train as early as possible. I'm not saying you have to train at 5 a.m. I'm just saying train as early as possible, because if you wait till later on during the day, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, then you are going to find more excuses and more reasons not to go. All right, so train as early as you can. If 5 a.m. is the only time you could train, and that's probably the time that you can do it consistently, do that. All right, find a discipline, find the way to go to bed early and get to the gym. Okay, because again, we got to make it a priority. When something is important to us, we make it happen. So train as early as possible. Yo, that is it for today's video. I appreciate you. I'm so thankful for you. Hey man, shout out to all the dads for putting in that work. I know it's hard. I know it takes a lot for us dads to be the best version of ourselves for our family, for our kids. So I'm thankful for you. Keep putting in that work. You got it. Please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.